Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the #1 most valuable real estate community in existence. Today, we are going to be doing a live cold call roleplay session. We're going to get everybody set up and on the stage so that they can practice being buyers and sellers, handling objections, and pre-qualifying the correct way to set real expectations and upfront agreements with sellers. So we're going to go on ahead and get everybody together here. We're going to invite Mr. Stefan to the stage. We got him in the audience. We got to bring him up here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
I am blessed, man. I love the hat, brother. Makes me wish
Thank
I
you.
was where you were, man.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm blessed to be here as well.
Yeah, we
I
had a good week so far. I got some good actually cash flowing sub twos, which is rare these days. We got one in Chicago. The actual PITI from one of the units, or the rent rate from one of the units, covers the full PITI. So the duplex, the second one, is just a free roll. So that's a good one. And we got
nice.
one in Texas. We're waiting for signatures. So it's been a good week so far. How
That's
about
awesome.
yourself?
I'm also moving and grooving. I've got a couple of deals that I have under contract that I'm in the process of getting listed. I've been sending buyers out to some of these that I have already on the market, and hoping to get somebody to take one of them. I have to follow up with that listing service today that is
Mm.
responsible, for the flat fee listing, trying to get them to give me a release letter so that I can get it listed with a legitimate agent. So that's going to be on the agenda for today. Making sure that everything's moving along with the title process on another deal that I'm actually going to close on. Looks like I'm going to actually close on it for the 2nd of
Okay.
September. And then, yeah, I got to get another property in Indiana listed as an ovation. So we're moving and grooving here.
Right on, man. Are you doing any of the title stuff, or do you have a title rep to handle all that, or tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I'm just opening up title, with a regular title company. I don't handle any of that stuff. I just work with the pros.
Okay. I was gonna say you're pretty advanced. I wouldn't be doing I wouldn't be handling all the title work. You got
Oh
your
man,
skills are more or better focused on talking to sellers, brother.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I can't even imagine being buried in all that. I don't even know. I don't know the first process about title searches. I know you got to find out. Who's going to get their money at closing, right? And divvy it up. But
Right.
beyond that, I don't really know too much.
I see Bob in the crowd.
I think he'll be joining us from the crowd today. I would love to have him up. I don't think that he's feeling too well today, so we gotta pray for him, keep him in our thoughts for the day. Make sure that he makes a quick recovery. Oh, we got him up.
He's
He's
in there.
coming.
Yeah, that's what I said. I see him. I see him. Well, right on, everybody. Well, we did, Monday was more of a little bit of a mastermind. We had some great questions we were discussing, and I learned a lot actually on some of the stuff we were going over. But today, let's focus on some role plays. Let's get you guys some reps in here, because I know that's why a lot of you guys have joined. So who would like to be a buyer and a seller? Please feel free to jump up on the stage and let us know what you guys are working on, and we'll tailor your role play to that. My buddy even jokes, hey, if you're selling Cutco knives, you can practice that script too. I mean, obviously, this is a real estate group, but whatever you guys want to practice, we're here to help. So raise some hands. Who would like to jump up here? We're just gonna have to start dragging people up here.
We just turned on the hand raising, ladies and gentlemen. So now you can raise your hand and hop up. We got Mr.
Oh, we
Eddie
got
P.
Eddie P in the house. He's always the first to join. I love it.
Good morning, Eddie.
What's up?
You gotta unmute, brother.
Oh, okay. Yep, I hit the wrong button. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good, doing good today. Just out in the field a little bit.
Looks like a beautiful day, man.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It is.
Nice.
Yeah, I got one property we got subject to that I'm working on. We're just cleaning it out and getting it ready for I think we're going to do like a pad split with it. I'm partnering up with the lady who bought it, and we're doing that for it. So just getting it cleaned up and everything.
Cool, man.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Right on. Well, anybody else want to jump up on stage, be a seller for Mr. Eddie? Or either myself or John could be a seller. Oh, we got real estate rail in the house.
Let's bring him up.
I don't have bring him up. I don't think I have permissions to do that, or at least I don't know how. I'm still kind of new to this.
I think you should already have the permission, but you'll see on the side chat when somebody raises their hand, you can invite them to speak.
Okay.
Good morning.
I'm still learning all that part.
Hey, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
Wonderful.
Doing good. Glad to be able to help.
Heck yeah. All right, Eddie, is anything in particular you want to be practicing right now? I know you do a lot of different stuff these days, so what would you like to focus?
I've been driving for deals, so I've seen a lot of properties that I got on list. So that's what I'm going to be working on this today and tomorrow.
Ugly house. All right.
Yep.
Real estate rail, can you own an ugly house for us?
I got you for sure.
All right, buddy. All right, Eddie, started with the ring, and let's roll.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Rail, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Who's this?
Oh, this is Eddie P. Yeah, I'm a neighbor in your area now. I also buy property. I happen to see a property on 1-2 Street Banana right next to another property I just bought. It's boarded up and everything, and I was just wondering, were you considering the offer for your property or needed any help with it?
Yeah, I get calls like this all the time.
Oh man,
How much you want to give me for?
man, it always depends. Do you have a price in mind right now?
Well, I owe 30,000 in back taxes on it.
Okay, that's not too bad. When's the last time you seen the property? Because I want to know what the condition is. I see the outside is boarded up. The roof looks a little old, but can you tell me more about the property?
Last time I seen it was maybe 3 years ago. 4
Okay,
years ago.
okay, all right. Shoot. Okay. Well, hey, when are you in town or out of town?
I live in Florida.
Okay, you live in Florida. Is there any way? What I would like to do is get permission to see the inside of the property. I got a contractor, things like that, and what I can do is shoot you a price and things like that after we see it. It runs some numbers and everything like that. And I would love to get it off of your hands. Now, it's been 3 years since you've seen it. Why haven't you sold it since then?
I mean, I don't know. I plan on fixing it up. It's like a family house that I was inheriting. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm the
Do you
only
even?
one that's keeping up with it. So I mean, it's really my
Yeah,
choice to let it go or not.
yeah. So it's been a family home. You the only one. Is there anyone else on title with it, or be mad if you sold it?
No, just me and my brother, but he should be fine with everything. I'm the one
Oh,
taking care of everything.
oh, okay. I see. I see. Okay. And all right then. Well, I got a little bit. Did you have a price in mind by any chance with it? I know you owe 30,000 and it's kind of beat up, but what were your thoughts?
I mean, I really don't have a set price in mind. Like I said, I get these calls all the time, but
Uh-huh.
ideally, I would like to walk away with at least 50 grand.
Okay, at least 50
But,
grand.
yeah, but I am negotiable.
Okay, but you're negotiable. All right. What I'll do is I'll take a look at the property if that's all right with you, us coming by. That way we can give you a really solid offer on it. And if you're how soon, if we were able to give you a price that makes sense, how soon would you be willing to sell and come down and get that done?
I mean, it really all depends on the offer, but as soon as possible.
All right then. Well,
Yeah, possible. 30 days.
okay. Well, I appreciate this right here, and I'll give you a call in. Give me like 48 hours, and I'll give you a call about it. All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
All right, all right. Love it. How do you feel, Eddie?
I feel like I feel all right. every call's different, and sometimes the objectives are, my main objective is always to get a hold of someone, see if they're considering an offer and a time frame to get into the property and see it, so I can make them a proper offer. And if they're motivated and they want to, they'll take that offer. If not, at least there's something in their head, and I keep up with them every 3 months or something like that, and see, because eventually people want to sell, and I just want to be there for them when they're ready to.
Love it.
How
Real
do you-
estate rel,
how
any
do you-
feedback?
Yeah, I like. I mean, I like the confidence. I like how he stayed in control of the call. I just think he could have said everything. Simplicity is bliss, in my opinion. So I could have said everything in just maybe a sentence or two. You know what I mean? But besides that, it was a really good call. He took me from start to finish. I kind of would have just handled the call a little different, but yeah, it was pretty good. I like it. How long have you been wholesaling for, Eddie?
Heavily this past year. I've primarily been running properties as far as rentals go.
Okay, so only a year. That's pretty good, man. I like that.
Yeah.
Eddie may or may not have been on our past role plays, so he has gotten 100,000% better since when he started. I love your opener now, Eddie, because we were always working on the opener a little bit, and I like it. Hey, I'm a neighbor and a buyer, because he really is local. He really does drive by these properties, so he can say that he owns properties
For
nearby.
sure.
So
Yep.
that, I love that aspect. I'm always still want to get you, Eddie. Mirror the opener, however they answer. Hello, hi, hey. Always mirror that opener, because that's going to make them feel like, people like people who are like themselves. So it's a way to build instant rapport. So if they're like, hello, I'm like, hello. And then I go into my spiel. If it's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? This is Stefan. I'm calling about your property on Banana Street. So just that little one. I mean, I'm always going to be a stickler for that. That's just me. He owes $30,000 in back taxes. That sounds right up your alley. Out of state owner. So, there's a lot of motivation there. Something I ask, or I might say too, is when people are like, hey, what's your offer? What's your offer? It's like, hey, I don't make offers, I buy homes. So I just really need to figure out a number that works for both of us, or however you want to state that. I would love to go see the property so I can give you, like you said, a solid offer. I love that. And then for the 48-hour callback, is there a reason you wait 48 hours or not try to get in there sooner? Just curious on that.
That's when I know my contractor can get in. Like if they give us permit, because there's like whole homes we know they're, no one's been there in a while, so it just gives me time for my contractor to for me to go in with my contractor, take some pictures, and also for my buyers that I'll send it out to my top 5 buyers who would like a property in that area or that size or something like that. It just gives them time to respond, to give me a quote on what they would pay for it a little bit.
Makes total sense. Like kind of the reverse kind of wholesale strategy kind of thing.
A little bit, but yeah. And every now and again, I'll get one who wants to sneak in, like, "Hey, can I come in tomorrow to take a look at it? I like these. I like this. Let me go do this." And so it gives me just a grace period of time.
Makes perfect sense. Well, if you're actually bringing your contractor in there and getting those pictures and videos and everything, that makes perfect sense. So that's super solid, Eddie. Good job. John or Bob, any feedback?
Yeah, Eddie, as always, a good job. The only thing I probably would add is at the beginning, I mean, you did it. I just do it a little different, and there is no right or wrong way. I just like to start off with, hey, catch me up to speed, or, what's the story on it? So when you said, hey, I'm a neighbor and the buyer in this neighborhood, you went right into price. I normally don't do that. I just say, hey, what's the story? Let me see where I can add value first, and then we can talk about price. So that's the only difference, but everything else was great. As far as value is concerned, I think you're going to do that too by going there, taking pictures. He hasn't been there for 3 years, hasn't seen the property. So showing him those pictures and the current state of the property is definitely going to be an advantage for you. So yeah, make sure you do that. So great job.
Yeah. Thanks. That's one thing that I like to do, especially if I know they're out of state. If I can get, because some people, they think of oh, it's not that bad, and then I send them a couple of pictures. They're like, whoa. All right, yeah, we should. I should probably lower what I'm thinking about that house. That sort of thing.
Hey, even if they are in good condition, I still would take a picture and send it and go, "Yep, you were right. It's still in good condition." Okay.
Yeah.
But I would continuously follow up. Okay. So, for example, if I don't know, you guys had a storm or something happened, I'd drive by that house and take pictures if there was anything that damaged the house, if a tree fell on it, if something happened to it, I'd take pictures and send it to them. It gives them a feeling that, hey, there's another set of eyes on my property.
Yeah.
Someone cares, and so they're going to rely on you more and trust you more. So it's a good thing to continuously follow up.
Oh yeah. Usually the money's in the follow up.
Is there any way I can go and
410.
do constructive criticism on my pitch and my cold call pitch?
Absolutely.
Why don't you role play next? Why don't
Yeah.
you guys want to swap?
I'll
Eddie,
swap.
you want to be the seller?
I'll be the seller.
All right, cool.
Let's do
All
it.
right, I got a company, so I'm gonna leverage my business. All right, ready? Ring.
Hello?
Hey Eddie, how you doing today?
I'm all right.
Good. This is Ty from REI Real Estate. I was just giving you a call about that property on Johnson Street. I was just giving you a call to see if you may be interested in selling or open to a cash offer for it.
I mean, I could be, man. I was thinking really about maybe I'll fix it up. Maybe, when I come across some money or something like that. I just, everything's just been crazy for me these past few
Okay.
years.
Gotcha. Okay. How long have you owned it for, if you don't mind me asking?
5. I got it from a cousin who was in a bad spot, and I had enough cash to give him enough to get him there.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem. When was the last time you done any work to it?
Man, a year ago we went in and boarded it up a little bit better and put a security door, boarded up the windows and put in a security door. That sort of thing. Somebody tried to break in and took some coppers, so yeah, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So the house is pretty in pretty bad condition on the inside.
Yeah, it was. We fixed it. We put in a little bit of work and a little bit of paint and everything like that. It's just now it was cool except for I think I had my cousin had a large water bill, things like that he forgot to pay or something like that. And so and since we're related, we got the same last name. We gotta actually pay it off before we can get it in. And now we got that. So it was pretty cool until the AC got stolen. Well, we never had an AC unit in it, and now the water. Now we got put in new lines for the water, but everything else was cool with it.
Okay. Sounds good. Is there a price of mine you're looking to get for this property? If you can make it do happen.
Man, I don't even know right now. It's just I've been wanting to get it done and everything like that. It's just been hard for me with the cash I need for another. I just need a little bit of cash, man. I might sell. What's been your thoughts?
Oh, well, I'm interested in buying it. That's kind of why I called you. I bought a couple properties in the neighborhood. I was reaching out to see if you're interested in selling yours. But yeah.
Okay. Oh,
One.
okay. In the neighborhood. What'd you sell those for? Or
No, I
buy
said
those for?
I bought a few in the neighborhood. I was just calling to see if you're interested in selling yours. But if you need some time to think about it, I don't mind calling you back in like a week or two.
Well,
And we
man,
go
I
from
do. I
there.
do. Well, I mean, hold on, man. I do kind of need the cash. I mean, what's your offer? What are you thinking?
I mean, it really all depends on the condition. Are you free tomorrow for us to come take a look at the property? Put some eyes
Yeah,
on it?
man. Yeah. I can do that.
Okay, awesome. Does 10 a.m. work for you?
Yeah, 10 a.m. works.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, Adam. So I'll give you a call maybe tomorrow morning around like 8, and then just to confirm everything, and then we go from there. How's that sound?
All right, man. Sounds good.
All righty. All right, I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
All
You have
right.
a good one.
Bye.
That was fire.
Boom.
What do you guys think about that one, Stefan, John, Bob? You got any feedback?
Well, I like the way that I like the way that you pushed back. He gave you a little bit of pushback, about the price, and you did what a lot of really great salesmen do, which is going negative. You're not positioning yourself in a way where you need this deal, right? You need him to
Not at
sign
all.
with you,
Not at
right?
all.
And so
Yeah.
I noticed that was one of the things that you did really well was you went negative, and you decided, to be indifferent, okay, well, hey, I'm gonna go, if this isn't something you're interested in, I'm gonna talk to somebody else, who is, right? I got other better things to do with my
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And that puts you
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
position of
Exactly.
power on the phone. Um,
Exactly. Yep.
and I think that you stayed in control of the call, the entire call. I like that. And one of the best takeaways that I got was that you set a definite time for an appointment, and you set an expectation that you were going to follow up with him tomorrow at 10 a.m., right? Tomorrow at 10 a.m., that's your appointment. Before you ended the call, you made sure to remind him that tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then the only criticism that I would give, right, because we're trying to be constructive, would be the
Yep.
way
Yep.
you opened the call. You were going to ask him a difficult question, but before or after you asked him that difficult question, you said, if you don't mind me asking. I personally don't like to ask that because it creates a friction, right? They could say, well, I do
Say
mind you
no. Yeah.
asking. But
Yeah.
beyond that, I
Gotcha.
think
Yeah.
that it was a perfect call.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, but my opinion on doing that sometimes I like to even my intro when I ask people if they were interested in selling or open to a cash offer, it's pretty much the same exact thing, but I like them to feel like they have an option in either or. You know what I mean? So it was more of like I like to relate to my sellers and not really sound too salesy. I really like to sound like I'm just a real person just buying houses. You know what I mean? But yeah, I appreciate the criticism. You got anything, Bob or Steve?
For me, I mean, I had your opener was super solid. I could tell you're very experienced on the phone. Um, I'm like I said, I'm a stickler for mirroring that opener route. So always, however they answer the phone, man, just put that in the back of your mind. If they're like hello or hi, or how, hey, what's up, like whatever it is, I always mirror that back to them, and
Same.
then
Yep.
go into my pitch. There was an opportunity, so I do a lot of. I'm very technical on the phones. I do a lot of mirror and matching and cadence and pace. There was a spot where he said, my life's been crazy right now. That might have been a good spot for a mirror. Hey, your life's been crazy? And just kind of let
Yeah.
them go. I mean, that could get into their motivation a lot. That I
Yep.
always try
I
to get
agree.
more motivation.
Yeah.
How long have you owned it? I love that question right off the bat. Uh, I do it a little bit reversed. I say, hey, is this your main residence or is this a rental? And then I go into how long have you owned it? Oh, wow, it's your main residence. So I do it a little bit different, but pretty much the same. So I like that. You've asked some really solid questions, man. Just and you speak with confidence. When was the last time you did some work to it? That's a really good question to ask. You assume the worst case scenario on the interior. Like, hey, is this just a big piece of what? Whatever. So you always
Yeah.
assume the worst. And then that'll let them correct you. It's like, oh, so it's probably a full gut, right? And then they're like, oh, well, no, actually, we did this, we did this. So that's a good
Exactly.
way to get them to like come back to you. You said you brought some properties to the neighborhood. I love that. And then, yeah, I said the same thing, the subtle pull away. Hey, you know what? If this isn't a good, this isn't work for you, let me just circle back in 2 or 3 weeks. And he obviously was like, no, wait. Like, hey, I actually really do need to sell this. So good job,
Yeah.
Eddie, being a motivated seller as well on the other side of the role play. But yeah, man, the pull away is very important. A couple other things that we do ask too is like, hey, is there anybody else that would be upset if you made the decision to sell this property? Because you're looking for other people who might be influencers. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Yep.
So, oh, actually, yeah, my wife, she really wanted to fix up that property and like, hey, well, let's all get on a call together. So I always want to identify the influencers in the deal because it could be owned with a sister or a cousin. You never know. You don't want to go all the way down to the end and then be like, hey, who am I sending this contract to? And it's like, oh, well, actually, it's this other person as well. So you always want to make sure you identify that. And then, yeah, man, just another one is roadblocks. Hey, if the numbers work and we can move forward, is there anything else that would, stop you from making the decision or stop you from moving forward and selling this property? It could be like, hey, I need to move some of my mom's stuff out of there. Whatever it is, but you also want to identify what we call roadblocks before you can close the deal. But you can also do that on the second call as well, or third call.
Exactly.
But it's just something we focus on.
And I kind of like to figure that out in my timeline question. So I'm like, hey, if we can make a deal happen, how soon are you looking to sell? Now, if they're like, hey, I need 30 days to get all my stuff out, then I kind of figured out the motivation. Then I could probably backtrack a little bit. What if we can help you out and get some moves over there, things like that. But yeah, I definitely, yeah,
Exactly.
those are one of the key questions I like to ask too on the call. It was just with this role play, he was kind of, you know, different than most sellers. You know what I mean? So. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Eddie, how do you
Yeah,
think
man.
the call
Good
went?
solid call.
Anything I could have added to that, Eddie, or anything you took from that?
Man, I liked it. Number one, I was like an indifferent, like I was there, kind of like, man, you know what,
Yeah.
money kind of do sound good right now because I'm this, that, and the third. But I also at the same time was, I was on the fence, or like maybe not. What do you think? Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pulled back, you pulled back, and that maybe draw me forward. And that also
Mm-hmm.
helps to know if people
That
are
helps a lot.
really
It's funny,
motivated
it's funny
when
you
you.
say that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, but that's really good when people are indifferent because some people will jack around a little bit, and you can at least draw out if they're motivated enough to really, maybe pull something through, or if there's a little bit more, if they're more 55% or better on wanting to sell versus someone else by pulling back when they're kind of indifferent about the whole thing, because pulling back will give you that answer. Are they really motivated or motivated enough? And when you pull back and I go, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Well, I could, that sort of thing helps one way or another to find out.
I agree.
Overall, anything from Bob?
I think you guys all covered it. Great job. So, yeah, I overall I really liked it. Ty, is it Ty or Rel?
Terrell, either or.
Terrell. Okay. Yeah. So I think it was a great call all around. Yeah. I mean, I think Stefan and John and Eddie covered it pretty much. So I don't know what else I can add to it.
Appreciate that.
Well, right on. Well, thanks for hopping up here, Rel, and Eddie for jumping up first. We really appreciate that because without you guys role playing, we'd just be standing up here talking. So thank you. Who's next? Who do we got next? Who would like to get up here? Well, yeah, we appreciate you guys for being here. Anybody else would like to hop up and do some role play? Please don't be shy. We're here to help. We like to say don't practice on your paychecks, so that way, when you get off this call, you're ready to go. It's kind of like warming up in sports,
Ladies and
Nakia.
gentlemen,
All right.
take advantage of this opportunity. Tap that button to raise your hand and come and join us up on the stage. We'll bring you up. Stefan, do you see that invite to stage button there? I guess somebody clicked it already. Looks like somebody clicked it already.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect.
So we got
Sorry, I didn't know
Nakia.
you want Stefan to do it.
No, I was just gonna show Stefan because he was seeing that somebody raised their hand, but he was curious to know how to bring him up, so I was just gonna show him. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
so where's that button?
At the very
There's a-
top, Stefan, do you see where it says the chat logo is there? Right next to it is a hand. At the top of the screen, your monitor in Discord.
I'm looking. I don't see it.
Do you see where it says live stream with a red button? Right next to it is the chat logo. Right next to it should be a hand. It says show request. You don't see
view
that?
friend request? No, I don't see that. Let's.
Are you on the live stream window where you see everybody's face?
I can see. Yeah, I can see everybody's face.
Do you see that chat with the gentleman with the blonde hair? Posted by
Yeah,
Mr.
I see
Matt
the
Riley?
chat. I got that.
So if you go to the top there of that little window, you see the live stream where it says live stream with that. So then to the left of that, do you see the hand?
No, it's just a little like chat window. There's no hand there.
John, maybe Stefan doesn't have admin rights in this Discord. Could that be it?
Try now.
Oh, now show requests. I see. There you
Yep,
go.
that's the one.
All right. Well, I know
Nakia.
Nakia wanted to hop up here, but you got to raise your hand, Nakia. I don't know if you know how to. See, I'm learning too, so don't feel bad if you don't know how to raise your hand. Oh, here we go. Request to speak. So I clicked on her. Oh,
And then
invite to speak. There we go.
There you go. Nice.
Invite sent. Thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Technical, I'm like the worst. I used to be a power lineman, so my two tools were a hammer and a wrench. Okay, 35 feet in the air. Yeah, I'm what we call a knuckle dragger, is what they used to call me.
And look at you now. Now you're doing multi-million-dollar real estate deals and negotiations.
Exactly. Hey, Nakia, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, right on. Well, thanks for hopping up here. Would anybody else like to be a seller for Nakia? Nakia is an OG with us as well. She's been doing role plays with us for quite a while, so she's got some experience here. We got real estate
I
Rels
want to
ready
be
to
the
come back.
seller.
You do not?
I want to be the seller.
You want to be the seller. Okay, so we need a buyer then. So we got somebody to volunteer. Who would like to be a buyer for us?
I might be a little rusty.
Well, that's why you're here. Okay, real estate Rel still. You just went, Rel. I would love to see you go again. I guess if nobody else is going to volunteer.
What?
Anybody?
Listen, man, I could do this all day long.
Listen, ladies and
All
gentlemen, you
right.
got to take
Well,
advantage of this opportunity. You know, you can't be shy, especially if you want to get results in this business, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to be the one to pick up the phone and make that call. So really, don't sleep on this opportunity to fine-tune your skills and your sales ability, because these role play calls are going to prepare you for the real deal. And if you're serious and
That's
you're
the
telling
truth.
yourself that you want to be somebody that's going to be making 6 figures a year or 6 figures a month doing this business,
Well,
you've got to put in the reps, and this is that opportunity for you right now. So make sure you tap that button to raise your hand and hop up on the stage. Do not miss out on this opportunity.
maybe if we can, Nakia, keep it like kind of more just simple to where people can kind of really understand how simple it is on the phone to start. You know what I mean? And then they can come up here and give it a shot, and then the constructive criticism will help them move forward. You know. Let's throw the curveballs. I'm pretty quick with rebuttals, so you could throw anything at me. You know what I mean? But I kind of want to be able to teach these people how to how to take initiative and hop on the phone. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people probably in there are new, haven't really. You know what I mean? I got started in 2018. That's probably why I sound like I'm. But let's let's give it a shot. I just want to be
you,
able to
you
teach
put
these
in the
people.
reps.
Yeah.
That's the reason he sounds so solid, everybody, is because he put in his time, he's done the practice, he's done the role plays. So that's why we're here, everybody. We're here to help you learn. This is a safe environment. Don't be shy. And Nakia, trust me, she knows how to be a tough seller. So if you're going to give her
Perfect.
permission to be a tough seller, Nakia, get him, Nakia, get him. All right, well, let's roll. Let's just roll it again. But anybody else in the crowd, please don't be shy, guys. This is why we're here. So let's do this.
What's our topic?
Let's try
Yeah, go
someone
ahead,
that
bro.
owns multiple properties. Let's try that approach. Maybe
Go
whatever you
for it.
got.
You have to ring, so I say hello.
Oh, I thought you guys were. I thought you guys were saying something. All right, ready? Ring.
Hello.
We got Miss Morgan up here on the stage as well if she wants to go.
Perfect.
Hey guys, I didn't mean to interrupt. So if you guys are doing a ring, you go ahead. And I'll just sit back. I'll do the next one.
There you
Perfect.
go.
All right, sounds good, Morgan. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Ring.
Hello.
Hey, Nikki, how you doing?
I'm well. How can I help you?
This is Ty from Clearview Home Buyers. I was just giving you a call about that property on John Street.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you may be interested in selling it or open to a cash offer for it.
Are you a telemarketer or something?
No, I'm an investor. We buy houses cash. I actually just bought a property around the corner. I was just calling to see if you're interested in selling yours.
Oh. I get these calls all day long. So, no, I wasn't thinking about selling it, but
Would you
I'll
consider
listen,
selling for the right price?
I'll listen to your spiel.
Okay. How long have you owned this property for, if you don't mind me asking? You should cut out.
Uh-oh, we lost her.
You
I'm here.
muted yourself, Nakia.
I'm here. No, I got a phone call. Am I there? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Let me put it on Do Not Disturb. I apologize. All right, there we go. Okay, continue on. I'll listen to what you have to offer. I've had this property for about 15 years.
Okay. Do you currently live at the property, or you rent it out? Is it vacant?
I rent it out.
Okay. How long? How long the tenant's been there for?
The present tenants have been maybe 2 years.
2 years. Any issues with the tenants? Are they month to month or a lease?
They're on a lease, but their lease is coming up due in about 6 months.
6 months. Okay, so a lease. Gotcha. What are they paying for rent? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, it's a multifamily.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I know. What are they paying for rent? What is the first floor plan? What is the second floor plan?
well, it's 4 units, and I have 2 people on assistance on Section 8 that pay $700, and the other 2 pay $1,000.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're selling with the tenants in there. Something you consider if the price is right.
Price is right.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Is there an ideal timeline on you looking to sell this thing? If you can come up with a fair number for it.
I wasn't looking to sell. I just told you to shoot your shot, and I consider entertaining it.
Gotcha. Okay. It's not a problem at all. I know you're pretty busy. Do you have any pictures of the property by any chance, just so I can see the condition of the inside without causing any issues with tenants?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then can you verify the bedrooms in each unit? One bed, two bath, two bed,
Two
two.
bedroom, 1 bath, and 2 1-bedroom, 1 bath.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. Is there any way you can send me any pictures of the inside of the property from when you any
Sure.
idea?
Is this your number that you're calling from?
Yeah,
If you
this number's
text
perfect.
me
Yeah, this is my
your
perfect number.
information, if you text me your information, I can email you some pictures.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. All right, cool. Here, let me talk to my partner Eddie, and then I'll get those pictures, and we'll give you a call back maybe sometime either later today or tomorrow. How's that sound?
Eddie, your partner.
Yep.
I've heard that name before. I think Eddie's called me before.
Yeah, he's pretty well known in the city. So yeah, but yeah, I'll give you a call maybe sometime later today, or I'll have him call you either or, and then we go from there.
All right.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, you have a good one. Talk to you.
You too.
Nakia, you were gentle. You were
Took the
gentle.
fall.
I've seen you go way harder.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not begging you or convincing you to sell your house to me. Listen, I got the abundant mentality, so I know for sure I'm helping somebody out somewhere. So that's my approach. If you want to give me a hard time, okay, that's you know what I mean. But yeah, I kind of like to just play it cool, a little gentle. Even.
I played it cool.
Morgan, what do you think about that one? Bob, anything? John?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll start on this one.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what Bob has to say.
A couple of things. Normally, I like to ask a question. One of the questions with, if you don't mind me asking. But if you ask it more than once, then it's too much, and then you're being submissive to the homeowner. You don't want that, right? You want at the very least equal grounds. Okay? So you ask that question a couple of times, if you don't mind me asking. Ask it once on a relatively unimportant question, you know? But when it comes down to like price or motivation or anything like that, don't ask. Don't say if you don't mind me asking. So I'd just be a little bit more cognizant of that and careful of when to ask it and when not to ask it. The other thing was the condition. I liked how you asked for pictures. A lot of owners may or may not have pictures. So one of the things I like to do is to have them walk me through the house, okay, mentally. Okay, so how I would say is, hey, Nakia, if I walked in through the first unit's front door, where am I at? What room am I in? Okay, you're in the living room. Oh, okay, perfect. So if I'm in the living room, what's the flooring like? Is it carpet? Is it tile? Is it, uh, linoleum? What exactly is it? Oh, okay. And what about the walls? When was the last time, were the walls painted in the last 2, 3 years? Oh, okay. And then when I walk through the living room, where do I head to? Oh, the kitchen. Okay. So what's the kitchen look like? Floor, cabinets, countertop, walls, everything. Okay. So appliances. And I walk through every single room and I have them walk me through it. Okay. And then the way you can ask questions, you start putting doubts into their mind as far as, is it in good condition or not? So the way that you ask those questions would be like, so the kitchen cabinets, okay, have they been updated in the last 2 years? No. Oh, okay. What about the countertops? Have they been updated in the last 2 years? Okay, so if it hasn't been in the last 2 years, okay, or however long you want to make it, then it needs to be updated. And I always blame my end buyers. And who are my end buyers, Rel? They're those damn millennials, okay? They've grown up in a life where everything is handed to them. Okay, they get medals and trophies for participation. Okay, they can't handle sweat equity. They want everything when they walk into that house. When they want to buy that house, it's got to be in picture perfect, tip top condition. Okay, so if that's the case, that's my buyer. That's who I'm buying to fix it up too. So if your house hasn't been updated and upgraded like those houses in those magazines that you see, okay, or those shows that you see on TV, I need to update them. So I know they're in good condition. I agree with you, Nakia, but I still need to update them. Okay, so just a couple of pointers there, and oh yeah, there was one other thing as far as time is concerned. You keep saying tomorrow or 48 hours. Is there a reason for that? You don't jump earlier as soon as possible?
No, I'll give you a call later today or tomorrow. I just give myself enough time.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not telling you an hour, and it
Perfect.
took me about an hour to respond.
Okay.
You know, I didn't say 48. I just said either today or tomorrow.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate
Got
that.
it. I might have made a mistake then. Okay. Cool.
No, I think that
Well,
was
I hope that was helpful. Yeah.
And then on that call, I didn't feel like she wanted to stay on the phone with me, so I didn't want her to feel like I was interviewing her about her property she owns. You know what I mean? It was more of like just sparking the interest and then get as much info as I can, and then either try to go for some appointment or pictures or a call back. You know what I mean? But I agree. I definitely agree. It was more. I like how you put it to like more of like sound like a buyer. Like walk me through what this property looks like. You know what I mean? The first floor, second floor. You know, I kind of like that. I gotta add that to my
I like that
my
as
quote.
well, Bob. The way that you position the seller in a way where they can paint the picture for you and help you visualize. My feedback on that call, if I were to speak to that seller, I would have hung up because there's no motivation. So if you ask, hey, I mean, what would even make you consider selling the house? She explained, a perfect situation where she's got Section 8 tenants that are on assistant government assistants, right? She's getting her check. She's getting her money regardless. She's not in any sort of rush to sell. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be. So her also saying, I wasn't looking to sell would be enough for me to hang up the call.
Same.
Just because we're not on the phone to make small talk, and I really appreciate the fact that we got up here and we did something like this because this is training, right? So that people can see this type of conversation. Obviously they want to
Happens all the
help us,
time.
right? They want to. It does happen all the time, and these two are phenomenal. They've gone back and forth. This is a perfect example of the type of real call that you're going to find yourself on as well. But people like the seller that Nakia played, those aren't motivated sellers. So she really did a great job of playing an unmotivated seller. This is somebody that's never going to do business with you, and you really just want to move on from that conversation and try to find the next seller because we don't make deals we find deals, we find motivation when we're on the phone, we're cold calling, we're looking for someone that is motivated to take action and make a decision. And those are really the most difficult to find cold calling because it's random. There's a lot of things that could potentially, lead somebody to be motivated. You're pulling your list and this and that. But with cold calling, I'll be honest, it is very much volume. You've got to talk to enough people and have enough conversations and listen to enough stories to get an idea of, okay, well, this type of person is motivated. This is what makes somebody want to sell or puts them in a position of urgency where they must sell or they must make a decision. Then you've got to understand, how to qualify that person and understanding not only their situation, but the situation around the property, right? And so with the ebook, that I've been, taking a little bit of time to write up, I want to really start to help people position themselves such as a doctor would in practice, right? You have a patient come in and they tell you about, all their symptoms, this is happening to me, and then you make a diagnosis, right? But for people that are just getting started, who is the first person you see when you enter the doctor's office, right? Obviously you see the secretary, but once you sit down, you see a nurse, right? Before they send in the doctor to give you the prescription, finally ask you, further pre-qualify you, they send a nurse in to get, all of the vitals, the most important information to give to the doctor to make a decision for some sort of prognosis or prescription. And if people coming into the industry could position themselves to be more like a nurse would, I think that they'd gain way more experience in talking to sellers and not having to try to figure out how to write all these prescriptions and prognose all of these symptoms. But I think that it's so important that people get on the phone, most importantly. So I commend both of you for hopping up on the stage and playing these difficult roles, because a lot of people are seeing this and getting inspired from it. So again, I give you both your flowers because these are very
Appreciate
important,
that, John. Thank
real
you.
situations. Absolutely, Rel. Absolutely, Nakia. And these really do happen on a day-to-day basis. So being able to identify, when you should be talking to specific people based off their motivation is super important for optimizing the time that you spend cold calling, because you don't want to just be on the phone making small talk for an hour, talking to some old guy, who doesn't have anybody to talk to, God bless them. But we have to be talking to people that are going to be our potential clients.
Absolutely. Your job is also to disqualify, as quickly as possible, because you want to spend your time on motivated sellers, like you were saying. And the good way to do that is just go, if you get a seller like that, just go right into the price. Hey, you know what? It sounds like you're busy. I don't want to waste your time. What's the price you're looking for? Great. If that works, and also if they're not going to give you a price, we always do half a Zillow and see what they say. Just shoot the low ball offer and see what they say. Sometimes when you throw an extreme anchor, they'll actually give their price, like their real price. I've actually did it on a property a couple years ago. I didn't realize the seller had 2 properties they were selling. And I made the offer that we had already talked about that made sense for that specific property. And she said, oh, no, I would only take this. I'm like, well, we just spoke about it. She's like, oh, well, I have another property over here. Come to find out. Anyways, we bought both of them. Just long story short. But sometimes throwing out the extreme anchor, you guys can get the real price. But yeah, if it's somebody who doesn't seem motivated to get right to the price, if it makes sense, then yeah, maybe continue the conversation. But if the price doesn't make sense, get off that call as soon as possible.
Absolutely agree, Stefan. And one thing that I will also share is, just like Stefan said, to throw out that anchor, you can throw out an anchor that might tilt, the seller off of their initial asking price, just based off of throwing a number out there that's lower than what they're looking for. And it's always a great way to kind of gauge, where they're at. If they're really firm, if there's a way you can negotiate a lower price just by asking that question. So always, don't feel afraid that you can offend somebody. They're not going to hang up if you position yourself as, an authority on the call. They're not just going to hang up the phone on you, and that's going to be the end of the conversation. You're entering into a conversation with these sellers.
And another way to do it too is when you throw out that extreme anchor, be a little playful. Don't be really serious. Just, hey, you wouldn't take 380, would you? Or something like that. And they're like, hey, no, I'm more like 400. And if 400 works, you got a contract.
I like that. I like that.
Be a little playful with it. Yeah, you don't want to be super serious. Be like, hey, we're going to offer you this. And then it's like set in stone. They're like, heck no, I'm not going to take that. Then that's the end of the call. But if you,
all right, boys,
you're a little playful with it, you build some rapport. All right. All right, Morgan's ready. She's ready to go.
I think I'm like pumped. You guys are amping me like ooh, whatever the boys do like before it's Super Bowl.
I'm getting hyped up.
I'm not too hype. I'm just trying to be chill like Snoop Dogg hype.
I
There you
like
go.
that.
California
All
hype.
California hype.
Can I be the seller on this one?
I'm just trying to make it flow. Let's go. It's
Yes,
okay.
sir. Let's
I don't
do
know
it.
who's up, and I don't know what you guys want me to be. I'm gonna mute myself, but I just had to feel.
Morgan,
I felt an urge within to just like tell y'all thank you for that.
so what are you working on, Morgan? You're gonna be the next buyer. So what are you working on? And Rel is gonna be your seller. So just let us know what you're working on and we'll go from there.
No, they won't know. They don't know enough about fixer uppers now. None of y'all know about fixer uppers now. Wink, 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 wink. Nobody knows about fixer uppers because that's what I love to help. I am big, big, big into construction. I know I don't sound like it. That was my up. I know I don't look like it. That was my extra up. And also, if anyone did not know in this whole group, when you're a woman and you're doing construction, you are considered I don't care if I'm white, yellow, purple, pink, any other color, right? If you're a woman in construction, you are literally considered a minority. So this is
This is a fact.
so. Thank you, Bob.
Well, I did construction my half my life. I
I'm
still got my Class A and my crane license. So I was a power lineman. So I work with a lot of women in the field. I much respect. So yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a real thing. But it is a real strength, and I got it. So if you guys are asking me who I'm going up against now, if you want to know my weakness, should I even let that out right now? Like my kryptonite? I don't think I'm gonna. Okay, strength. Okay. Fixer upper. Fixer upper. Like they got a fixer upper, right? Maybe they pre-foreclosing on that fixer upper.
All right. So you want Rel to be a pre-foreclosure lead
John's
that
already.
needs some work. Rel, you got it? You got it, Rel?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Well, Morgan,
Oh.
start with the ring when you're ready, and let's roll. We got about 5 minutes.
What's his name? Real?
Rel. REL.
Hey. All right. You ready for my ring? I think you are. Ready?
Yep.
Ring.
Hello, is this?
Hello.
Hello, is
Hi,
this?
Morgan. I had seen that you had your house on a foreclosure list, and I just wanted to make sure that you had everything that you needed in order to get that taken care of.
How'd you get this number?
I got this number through a public record. And I saw that you might need some help because I know you're getting bashed with who's calling, they might be texting, they might be doing all kinds of things. And well, I do it different. I like to make sure the person wasn't like I was, who was in the dark, who had no idea what was going on. Okay, I had people coming from my left and my right. So I'm making sure that you understand your options. Do you want to keep your home, or are you actually open to maybe making your home something of what someone else could actually buy into?
I'm actually coming up with the money to keep it now.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So I'm very happy for you, and I hope that works out. Are you looking at a reinstatement?
No, my family. I think my family's gonna help me out with
Okay.
what I. And then
Okay. So are you talking about maybe a loan modification where what you guys have owed, you are putting on the back of what you guys? It's not the front of the loan; it's on the back side of the loan. Is that maybe what you're talking about?
No, so I'm going into foreclosure, and I was just gonna come up with the money to take care of it.
Okay. So maybe a reinstatement or a loan modification. Either way, it seems like you guys want to stay in the house, and I totally understand that. How long have you guys been there, by the way, like owning that whole entire property?
Say almost 8 years.
Okay. All right. Well, I understand that attachment. I had an aunt that I had to deal with recently, she owned the property for 20 years. And the man that, she got married into that property, yes. But after he passed away, she had to go through that whole heart on heart, taggle where she wasn't sure what to do and if somebody was just trying to get one over on her or not. And I just want to let you know that from the bottom of my heart, I'm letting you know that I think that's great. If that's what you guys are going through and you guys are actually trying to come up with the money, how certain are you about that? Are you guys really certain that you guys can come up with it? And if so, great. I'm no judgment here. I just want to make sure so I can, whenever I call you in a week, you can go ahead and see my number because I care. See, I care because my aunt was my mother growing up, and I have a root in my heart that has to do with these kind of properties. So, can I call you in a week and make sure everything is going along as you say?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that would be great. I would love to be a part of it. And after you guys get it back, I would love to be the celebration of it. And I'm really glad that you guys figured out something as a family. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm free all next week. You can call me anytime.
Okay, great. Like I said, my name is Morgan, and I'll be calling you guys maybe in a week, and we can see how that goes from there. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, all right. How do you feel, Morgan?
I feel sad. It's not like trying to be like that, but we all know when they're trying to. I feel like it's not him personally, right? We all know that. When I feel sad is that they're in denial. They're in the denial phase. Yeah, that's why I feel sad because like I have maybe not my aunt, but lolly dotty. I was just trying to reconnect on a real base level that I have felt that through my family member, and I have. And I really do hope that they can get what they want. But I do also know this is what we call follow up. We call follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. They need to make it like a badass song with it. Follow up, follow up, follow up,
Yeah.
follow up.
There you go. We can make that the new song for this for when we log in here.
That's right.
What you
Like
guys think about
Background
that one?
music.
a good beat, like a bass and a good like beat and a tempo, like follow up and follow up, follow up, follow up. Because this is what it's
Well,
about.
let's get absolutely Rel. Sorry, we got to roll here in a minute. Bob and I both have meetings starting at 9 here. So, Rel, what were your thoughts on the call there?
Sorry, what was my thoughts?
What was your feedback, sir?
Yeah, I like how she went for the callback. It was more maybe the seller just didn't know what options they really had in those moments. I like how she was questioning how certain they were about maybe whatever family member was coming up with the money to take care of whatever. I just think a little more structure on the call would have been ideal, but it was pretty solid.
More structure. Gotcha. Yes. How about you, John? Feedback from you, sir?
Yeah, one thing that I would share would be I like the authenticity of the call. Um, when you answer a question, so the seller gave you a little bit of pushback in the beginning. They were asking you like, how did you get this number? The best way to maintain control on a call and in a conversation is after you answer a question, you need to ask a question because that puts you back in the seat of, you're the one driving the conversation. Um, I like the story, but I would open with that, before mentioning that you saw, that they were on a foreclosure site, because you kind of have to put yourself in the seller's position where, their house really has been listed on some foreclosure site. Their business is out to the whole world. To us, it's just might be another situation we could try to help and save somebody, but to the people going through it, this is like, oh well, I'm upside down. Everybody sees that I'm going broke. I got no money. Everybody knows I'm broke. Like, and it's not a good feeling. You know, it's not a good look. You know, for the whole world to know your financial information,
I,
right? So that
what, how can I word that, honey? Like I thought I did. I thought I did say that. If I didn't say it to where I was thinking it, can you? How would I say it better?
I think Bob is the expert on that. Tell you the
Here we go.
truth.
Good. That's good. Okay, Bob. Thank you, John, and thank you, Stefan.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's a good. Bob's opener is perfect with foreclosures.
Oh,
I also would say too, I would never say somebody's on a list. Nobody wants to be on a list. You know, like just say, hey, you know what? It came to my, my name is Bob. I'm sorry to be calling unannounced. This might be a mistake. I don't, like the whole spiel. That's like the perfect opener for foreclosures. So just that's what REL means by structure as well. Like you want to have the same intro on almost every single call. Of course, you can tweak it because it's just a conversation, right? But you want to have the bones staying the same.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
nobody wants to be on a list. So just make sure you don't, hey, I came across some information. Looks like the bank started something on your property. Are you aware of that? However you want to frame it, because you can kind of take this and make it your own. But also let them speak too, because you kind of just went into a couple, like asked a question, but then you started telling a story. Then you asked a question, then started telling a story. You didn't even give them a chance to really talk.
My
And
bad.
the rule of thumb is that 70-30 or 80-20. You want them talking 70% of the time or 80% of the time, and we're talking 20% of the time
Oh,
because we're
really?
information gathering.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's a
Yeah.
70-30 rule, 80-20 rule. That is a real thing. Because the more they talk, the more information we get, right?
I never heard of that ever.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yes, but then you did mention the reinstatement, which, hey, you know what? That's great. I'm so glad you're figuring that out, but you will hear that a lot, especially. So something I even say is like, hey, that doesn't always work out. What is your secondary option if that money doesn't come through? And then go walk them through those 5 pillars. You can also do a loan modification. Tell me a little bit more about that. And then you get them to disqualify themselves. Going through those pillars. And that's something Bob and I have been teaching. And we're also going to do a foreclosure class coming up. I don't know what that timeline looks like, Bob, but
we need that.
we're going to be doing a foreclosure class. We'll be teaching all of you guys all the stuff we're going over right now, and gals. Sorry to say guys. But I love the storytelling. Storytelling is important. Hey, I got an aunt who went through the same situation.
That was a real thing.
Yeah. So it's good to have that, but you got to make sure you're timing it right. You don't just want to tell that whole story when you don't even know what information or what they're going through. So you just got to say, hey, I completely get it. My aunt's gone through the same thing, painting that picture. This is what she did. And this is how we can help. So you want to be able to speak from experience with that, with the third party story, which is really important.
Bob, by the way, thank you for that. I'm just going to go ahead and screenshot. Bob just put it in the chat, guys. I don't know if you've seen that. I'm just going to go ahead and screenshot it. I think that would help me like tremendously. Thank you, guys. You guys are so nice.
The opener is the most important part of a conversation, because that first 30 seconds to a minute is going to get you that next 3 to 5 minutes on a call. If you sound salesy, people are going to hang up, so.
How was mine? I don't even know. I think I've heard no bad or no wrong. I just want to know, like, legit, how was mine when you heard it?
It was good, but you're a little all over the place. You just got to. That's why when Mel said you got to structure it, just.
I want real. I want authentic. I want nothing but raw. Give it to me, boys. Come on.
Okay, so
you were just all over the place.
It sounds like you
intro.
have learned quite a bit.
His headphone.
But also,
can you guys hear me?
Hey, maybe we'll follow up in a week. You want to speak with certain.
Oh.
Hello.
Yep, I can hear you, Stefan. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello, can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear Bob?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting another call.
Where are you at, Bob?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, the last thing I was going to say, Morgan, was you said, hey, I maybe will call you back in a week. Speak with certainty. Hey, you know what? I'm going to put you on my calendar for Monday at 3 o'clock. Does that work for you? Great. Boom. That's it. So you want to speak with certainty on the follow-up as well. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Stefan can't hear me, but I'm going to
go
go
be in the other meeting, so.
Stefan, can you hear Bob? He's speaking too. I think you might not be able to hear him. You may have, let's see.
Well, that's weird. That's a first. I haven't seen that one.
Something happened with this headset when the call came in.
But anyways, yeah. Morgan, it sounds like you've learned quite a lot about pre-foreclosures and everything, and you're just throwing everything out to show that you know your stuff. Okay, and that's the first step of any good training. Okay, to learn as much as you possibly can about any topic. Okay. Then, as you get better and better, as you practice more and more, as you become a Terrell, okay, and you become smooth at it, you pick and choose where you drop each piece of nugget that you've learned. Okay, so you don't want. It sounds like you're vomiting all the information at the person. Okay, and that's what you want to avoid. Okay. So that's why I put it this way, the way I say it. It's just like, hey man, I don't know what's going on. Okay. I probably know a lot more than most of these guys, okay? But there's no way I'm going to be saying that to anybody, okay? So I'm just going to come in unassuming, hey man, I don't know what's going on. My job is just to find out, to make sure that you've been presented all your options, excuse me, okay? And either this is a mistake or you know about all your options, okay? So let's figure it out, okay? And the two main questions that you always want with pre-foreclosures is, what happened? Okay. How did you get into this mess? Okay. And what's your plan? What have you done? Okay. And that's where those 5 pillars come in that Stefan posted. Okay. So then when they say,
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bob.
yeah. So when they say, yeah, I don't know, I got into problems, you know, I lost my job, or my wife got sick and we have a lot of medical bills, whatever the reason is. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's at that point that you come in with your relevant aunt story. Okay. So I'm so glad that you have a relevant story. Okay. Because it's at that point that you come in and you go, oh man, I know the pressure. I know the feeling. Okay. My aunt went through this and I watched her suffer so much. And that pain just drives me every morning to wake up and make these calls and help as many people as I possibly can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Because it sounds like you are a passionate and caring person. You just need to dial it and channel it the right way to make sure that people don't get overwhelmed and that you are relatable to them. It's at that point that you're going to gain their trust and they're going to do what you tell them to.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So that's what you need to do.
I need to find out what happened, and then you said one more question, and I'm putting it in my whiteboard.
Yeah. What happened, and if they're open to their, you know, what have they done so far? Okay. What happened and what have they done so far?
That's right. That's right. I did not do that with him. Okay. What did I do so far? Thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate you.
And then make sure you learn those 5 pillars of foreclosure, reinstatement, loan mod, bankruptcy, cash offers, and sub 2. Okay, make sure you learn them and you walk them through it one step at a time, and you walk them through it in that specific order. There is a reason it's in that order. Okay, you want them to disqualify themselves. Okay.
Bankruptcy. I just don't know the 4 and 5. So if anybody, on Bob's gang over here wants to let me know. I know you're really busy, Bob, and I so much appreciate all this. This is great. I've never had
glad.
Do this for me, so I feel very special today.
Well, join us every Monday and Wednesday, and you can practice every day, each one of those days with us. Okay.
Great. Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I got to jump off. I am so late, but I will talk to you guys later.
Bob. Thank you so much, Stefan. And thank you, Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is taking action and getting up here and putting yourself out there and having the courage to try. That is what's going to push the needle forward for you in your business. Nobody goes from $0 to $100,000 a year or $100,000 a month overnight. You've got to be willing to fail, and you've got to be willing to put yourself in a position to try. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, thank you so much to Mr. Rel. Thank you so much, Miss Nakia. Everybody that came and participated today, you are all absolutely fantastic. This is the #1 most valuable real estate community in existence. If you haven't already, you've got to invite somebody to come be in proximity with us. Send them that link. You can make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube to catch the replays of not only this live, but all of the lives that we've got. I've got to get a special guest to come and join us tomorrow, so definitely keep your eye on the chat for that announcement. But until next time, we will catch you back here in the next one. Take care, everybody.